Hi, I'm Ryan Szymanski, curator for Battleship, New Jersey Museum and Memorial. And today, I'm embarrassed to say that I've been in 6 spaces on the ship that I'd never visited before. And I think that brings us to a really cool museum theory idea. So, if you come and take a tour of our turret, we climb down to 5th deck and we go into the magazine there that's the main centerline magazine feeding turret number 1. Each of the magazines on the ship is 2 stories tall. There's a magazine up above like this one that is feeding the ammo down below through a gravity hoist like this. This is something I know. I started working on board on December 31st, 2017. Today is March 23rd, 2025. I've been here, this is my 8th year with the museum. And during those 8 years, I have tried to get into every place possible. I've been in some spaces that many crew members have, and I crawled down a gun barrel, I crawled inside a boiler. These perfectly accessible magazines, 6 spaces that I had not been to until today. Back in, I think it was winter 2018, 2019, when one of my coworkers just started working here, we decided we wanted to go into every single space on the ship and get like a baseline assessment of it so that we would know where we were going from there forward. And then the plan at that time was that every winter when the museum is slow, it would go back into those spaces and see, like, are they deteriorating? Do we need to change our restoration priorities, or are they not? Long story short, we haven't exactly had the free time to do that every year, but thanks to the YouTube channel, it does give us an excuse to go and visit spaces that we wouldn't otherwise visit. Anyway, we set out one day trying to get into every single space. There's about 1,100 habitable spaces and about 1,600 total spaces on the ship if you include voids and fuel tanks and things like that. We spent 6.5 days getting into every space that we could. And obviously we didn't hit them all. How many videos on this channel have been, hey, we just found a space for the first time? And today, we're in a space I have never been in. And today we have a cool find. Today, we're going to talk about one of the ship's armor features, the splinter deck. Including this one. And now the 3 magazine spaces and the 3 passageway spaces that we did find today that we hadn't been to before. Find is a stupid word for that because they were never lost. Other people have been here. Aren't really that unique in any way. They've got the same fittings as other ones. They're in remarkably good condition. Like you can see the brown primer marks on the deck from where the last crew primed bare metal, but never got the chance to finish painting it with top coat. And no issues with corrosion, no issues with humidity or stuff like that in here. I do not feel bad that we hadn't found these spaces because there's been an ongoing problem, because these spaces are perfectly fine. But I do feel bad that, like, conceptually we knew they were here, we just never found the ladder that climbed up to them. And because it is a powder magazine, it is a vertical ladder to get into, so it's not the easiest thing in the world. But still, man, how did I never check this out before? But that brings us to another point. On the Battleship, there's a tour route that you follow of restored spaces. People always want to go off the tour route and see the whole ship, quote unquote, see the whole ship. Okay, if you want to buy 6.5 days worth of tickets, maybe, but that's still not going to get you everywhere. But we are going to get you to at least one of just about every space on the ship. These magazines aren't open, but there are many other magazines that are. Like, you're going to get to see several berthing compartments, but not all of them. Like the spaces that are closed are not closed because they're cool and we're keeping them from you. They're closed because there's nothing new in there, and the average visitor has about 90 minutes of attention span when they're walking around the museum. Or they are the dad of the group who has a 5-hour attention span and is going to read absolutely everything written on every sign. Regardless, they're going to get to see a representative space of just about everything on the tour route. There's a couple of things that aren't included yet, like aft steering or a refrigerator, but we're working on adding those. And like for example, with the reefers, we'll have 1 or 2 on the tour route, but we won't have all of those spaces on the tour route. By my estimate, I've been in probably about 1,000 spaces. A couple of years ago, I would have said about 800, but it's probably about 1,000 now. So there's still a bunch of those voids and fuel tanks I haven't had the chance to crawl around in yet. And there's still probably more habitable spaces like this one. Like I said, we found 6 new ones today. There were other ones like that around the ship that we'll find in the future. So I keep a laminated blueprint of the Battleship in my office, and I go through and grease pencil every time I go into a new space and cross it out. But I know I still haven't been in every single space yet. What do you think are some spaces I need to look for in the future? Let us know in the comment section down below. Battleship New Jersey receives operating support from the New Jersey Department of State, also from a number of other businesses and private individuals like yourselves. We really appreciate your support. There's a link in the description below for ways to donate to support the museum. You can also support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing so more people find about the museum and our channel. Thanks for watching.